Hello everyone. So now we are trying to find the distance between 2 points on a graph. So I've got here -2 comma 1 right there, or this is x and this is y, and I've got 3 comma 5. Again, x comma y goes alphabetically, or if you want to think in more funny terms, you get and you date someone, eventually you break up, and they become your ex, and you wonder, why did I date them? X, then Y. So, how far is it from here to here? Well, some people might say, well, let's just count the boxes. That's what we did on the other side. Well, which way do we count? Do we count over? Do we count up? It's kind of difficult to decide. One way you can estimate, I don't have a protractor, I don't have a compass here, but I'm going to use this like a compass. How far is this? Well, it's this far. I'm going to put this down here on the x-axis, and it looks like my answer should be something more than 6. So it should be more than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. Well, if I'm going diagonal though, I know it's got to be more than that. So yeah, this is looking like 6. That's a pretty decent way to estimate it. You know, something more than 6, okay. But exactly how much is it? Well, for that, we're going to do something sneaky here. I'm going to turn this into a problem I can do. I'm going to turn this into a right triangle. Alright, let's see here. How many boxes are going up here? 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes going up. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes going over. So now, if I have to find out how far it is from here to here, the distance, I can call it D, or I can call it C, for that whatever it matters. I'm going to have 4 squared plus 5 squared equals D squared. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's Pythagorean theorem. That's all it is. So now, 4 squared, of course, is 16. 5 squared, of course, is 25. And D squared, we just leave that as is. So, finishing this off, what's 16 plus 25? You're going to get 41. That is equal to D squared. And we're going to take the square root of both sides. D is the square root of 41. Now, I don't know what that is, and I don't have my calculator with me actually. I'm using my phone right now to video this. I don't have a calculator nearby. But can I still approximate what this is going to be? Well, if we were the square root of 36, that would be 6. For the square root of 49, that would be 7. 41, not quite halfway in between, but it's probably somewhere in there. So I'm going to say 6.4, 6.5, somewhere in there. Probably close to the 6.4. So square root of 41 is approximately 6.4. So all we have to do is Pythagorean theorem. These are just simple enough that we can count. However, what is the distance formula on a graph? Well, the distance formula is D equals x1 minus x2 squared y1 minus y2 squared, and then you just have to take the square root of all of that. Now you may be asking yourself, what the heck? That is not what this is. Well, let's see here. What if we start plugging in the numbers? I'm going to plug in the two x coordinates. So -2 and 3. If I subtract those, -2 minus 3, that's going to give me -5 squared. Which would give me 25, right? If I do y1 minus y2, 1 minus 5, that's going to give me -4 squared, which is 16. Now I'm adding these together. Now I'm taking the square root, right? But look what we did up here. We eventually just took the square root of this, didn't we? This is just going to be the square root of 41. 16 plus 25 is 41. You take the square root of it, because that's what the formula says, and you get 41. So, the question for you is, how is this formula really just the Pythagorean theorem? So for the rest of the questions here, I got a question. The questions are, how is the distance formula like the Pythagorean theorem? Doesn't matter. Can I do x2 minus x1 instead of x1 minus x2? Does that matter? So I want you to try it. Try switching them around and see, does it give the same answer? Try doing 3 minus -2 and then 5 minus 1. See if that gives you the same answers in the end. Will x1 minus x2 in parentheses squared ever be negative? Yes or no? Why or why not? And then you're just going to find the distance, use the distance formula to find how far is it from A to C. And after you use the distance formula, then I want you to try using Pythagorean theorem. So after you do the distance formula, try the distance formula, and then I want you to make a right triangle on this, going from A to C right here. How far is this? We're going to call this D. Just do Pythagorean theorem and see if you get the same answer. Okay? So these are the questions you have to do, and then we will discuss these later. Thanks for watching.